greetings everybody, Gleekon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. We're wrapping up the 8th year after the Dark Portal here, and things are going to start kind of picking up towards some of our next big novels next. But stay a while and listen to this one. It's called The Legacy of Deathwing. So what did Deathwing's actions leave behind? The Horde's defeat devastated more than Orgrim Doomhammer and his people. It also dealt a blow to the corrupted dragon aspect Deathwing and his black dragonflight. Long ago, the Titans had empowered Deathwing, then known as Neltharion, and the other dragon aspects to serve as guardians of the world. Each of the majestic creatures was given a specific role. As the aspect of Earth, Neltharion was imbued with the strength of Azeroth itself. This gift granted him immense power and fortitude, but it also inadvertently made him susceptible to the influence of the old gods. Oh. After destroying the Black Empire, the Titans and their servants had imprisoned the old gods deep underground, but that had not neutralized their power. Their dark tendrils gradually burrowed through the earth, and their influence reached into the mind of Neltharion. The old gods slowly transformed the dragon aspect into their greatest weapon, and urged him to engulf the world in chaos. During the War of the Ancients, he did exactly that. Neltharion crafted the demon soul, and convinced the other aspects to sacrifice a portion of their strength to empower the artifact. He claimed that the relic would help them drive the Legion from Azeroth. Only later did he reveal his true intentions. Neltharion betrayed his fellow dragon aspects, and turned the demon soul against them. Thereafter he was known by a more fitting name, Deathwing. In the millennia that followed, the other dragonflights had hunted Deathwing's children to the brink of extinction. Nowhere on Azeroth seemed safe for black dragons. Yet when the Horde invaded the world, Deathwing saw an opportunity. If he cultivated it properly, he could use the Orcish army to destroy those who wanted him and his flight dead. The old gods approved of Deathwing's intentions. Though they were enemies of the Legion, they knew the Horde would bring immense suffering and death to Azeroth. With the world and its people weakened, the old gods would assert their dominion over all and restore the Black Empire. Deathwing proved himself to be a highly effective agent of destruction for the old gods time and time again. It was he who had manipulated the nations of the Eastern Kingdom in the First War, so that Stormwind was left to face the Horde alone. It was he who had led the Dragonmaw clan to the Demon Soul, albeit without revealing his true nature to the Orcs. And it was he who had told them how to capture Alexstrasza and her dragonflight. Deathwing had taken a clutch of eggs to Draenor in the hope of rebuilding his flight in peace. In the end, his plans fell to ruin. The future of his flight had been destroyed along with Draenor. But all was not lost. The Dragonmaw orcs still held Alexstrasza captive, as well as many of her eggs and young offspring. Deathwing could claim those dragons for himself and enslave them to his will. They would become his new dragonflight. First, he had to ensure that the Dragonmaw would not be wiped out by Alliance forces. Shortly after the destruction of the Dark Portal, Deathwing took on the guise of a human lord named Davil Prester, a persona that he had used before. Pretending to be a charming member of the nobility, he had kept the court of Lordaeron in disarray with lies and misdirection, hampering the humans' awareness of how the First and Second Wars were unfolding. His efforts had been so effective that even now none of the nobles suspected that he had been actively working against them. Lord Prester rejoined the court, claiming that he wanted to help the Alliance recover from the war. Deathwing secretly called upon his son and daughter, Nefarian and Onyxia, to accompany him, also disguised as human nobles. Together they spread distrust and resentment among the nobility like a plague. Old rivalries flared bright among the Alliance's nations. Almost daily, fierce arguments erupted between nobles concerning the future of their faction. The escape of Orgrim Doomhammer only added fuel to the fire. It was an unexpected gift to the Prester family, who saw it as the perfect opportunity to chisel away at the very foundations of the Alliance. After Orgrim's disappearance, it was easy to play upon the humans' mutual distrust. Deathwing and his children made sure Alliance scouts and raiding parties always had bad information. The hunt for the remnants of the Horde seemed constantly beset by laziness, incompetence, or both. None of these problems were ever connected back to the Prester family. Meanwhile, the threat posed by the Dragonmaw clan and Grim Batal remained hidden from the Alliance. Now Deathwing could focus on stealing the Orcs' power away from them. Deathwing kept his involvement with the clan a secret, believing that the Orcs would never trust him or obey his commands. He sent his dark dreams to Necros Skullcrusher, the Dragonmaw's leader, offering premonitions that the Alliance was preparing a strike on Grim Batal that would wipe the clan off the face of Azeroth. To sell this fiction, Deathwing arranged for a small Alliance party, led by the powerful mage Ronan, to stumble upon the Dragonmaw's hidden lair. Oh. Necros panicked. He ordered his clan to abandon Grimbatal and move to a new cave complex concealed within the mountain pass of Dun Algaz. Drawing the orcs out of their mighty fortress was exactly what Deathwing had hoped for. Yet he was no longer the only powerful dragon with his attention on the Dragon Maw. So I think we're already starting to discuss events that are going to be in the Day of the Dragon novel, which is coming up very soon, but I think we have a pinch more before I'm ready to dive into that novel. I'm going to do a little bit more Chronicles, like a few more chunks, and then we should be able to bust all of that novel out in one go. Well, in one series of episodes without break. All right, this one's in the pipe 5x5. We learned a lot about what's to come and recapped a lot about what already happened with Deathwing and his plans. Thank you everyone so much for listening. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time on Lore of Warcraft.